From the murky waters of the sportsman's paradise, stories emerge. Stories of the generations of people who have shared in the bounties of the land. Stories of communities that have persevered through natural disasters. Stories of the abundance of fish, wildlife, and adventures that create an ecosystem rich in diversity. And from the silted banks of the mighty Mississippi to the soggy marsh bottoms, from the tops of towering pine forests to the depths of the salty Gulf, human and animal have shared this fortune for centuries. Enjoy these stories as told by outdoor journalists who travel across our state, documenting the adventure, sportsmanship, and heritage that make us Bayou Wild.
Springtime in Louisiana means one thing: bass fishing. From local club tournaments to regional bass series, and at the grandest of stages, bass fishermen are passionate about their sport.
Oh, look at that one, buddy. Go.
But for tournament anglers, bass fishing is not just a hobby. It can also be a profession.
When that Yamaha's cranked and that national anthem is sung, you know, it's me against me.
On this week's show, we cover the past.
I've been up about 15,000 in this. Well, the other day we were up 38,000 or whatever it was, and I'm just about a cloud above that right now, I guarantee you.
The present.
You have to be able to catch them a lot and win a lot, or you have to have a good business sense to it. You have to have a good business behind it, and a really good angler is going to have both.
And future of bass fishing as told by local Louisianians who live for that next trophy stripe.
You know, in every other sport, you know, you do junior high, high school, college, and then if you have a chance to go on off pro level. Well, now we have the same thing in fishing.
Closed captioning made possible by Ceto.com. Become a member. I've been using Louisiana fish fry products so much, even the kids are getting into it.
Farnio bag, pour and boil, a great crawfish every time.
And whether you're boiling crawfish, shrimp, or crabs, Louisiana fish fry products use the perfect blend of garlic, onion, spices, and salt for your seafood boils. So look for the bright yellow bag and pour and boil with Louisiana fish fry products.
For him to have a meteoric rise like that, I've been trying to think about what the equivalence would be. And I thought, you know, it's like a guy that was just a regular hacker on a golf course. And then he joined the club, and he played in the club tournament. And then he played in a couple of local tournaments and stuff. And then all of a sudden, in 4 years, the guy is standing on 18 at the Masters with his arms in the air. And I'm thinking, what an incredible rise to have a guy from Rain be mentioned in the same breath as the Roland Martins and the Jimmy Houstons and the Bill Dances of the world. You know, because his name's right up there with him. It is a small group that have won that tournament. That's a world championship of bass fishing, and that's not an easy thing to do.
If you're lucky enough to bag a deer or a hog this season, bring it here to Double D. Double D processes hogs and exotic game and guarantees your product is always the meat you brought to Double D.
Double D Meats in Bogalusa, home of country smoked, spicy jalapeno cheddar, and other customized flavors.
Bring your deer or your hog here to Double D, where you always get your meat back in return. It's worth a drive to Bogalusa from anywhere. Double D.
Our ultimate goal is to have birds reproducing in the wild where we no longer have to do reintroductions and someday have a self-sustaining population of cranes.
These cranes are part of our heritage, and they're back in Louisiana, and they're going to stay.
The birds really like this habitat, and they're going to continue to use it.
Please visit lawaff.org and make a donation.
For Louisiana sports fans, there may not be more prominent names than that of Shaquille O'Neal, Ben McDonald, or David Toms, just to name a few. But what about the name Jack Haynes?
Actually, I had baseball in mind. I thought I was going to go ahead and take Yogi Berra's place over with the New York Yankees, but I wasn't good enough, so I had to figure out something else to do.
So how is it that this small-town crop duster pilot will forever have his name enshrined with the state's sports greats? A rod and reel paved his path. It's hard to believe how much different things were back in 1975 when the qualifiers gathered for the annual Bassmasters Classic. This video is a perfect indication. Drivers left with boats for an unknown destination, and the contestants all gathered in New Orleans to board a plane for a secret location for the tournament. This year it was the Currituck Sound in North Carolina. Jack Haynes was a 25-year-old rookie in the Classic, taking on some of the nation's best. Some had television shows and national reputations.
For him to have a meteoric rise like that, I've been trying to think about what the equivalence would be. And I thought, you know, it's like a guy that was just a regular hacker on a golf course. And then he joined the club, and he played in the club tournament. And then he played in a couple of local tournaments and stuff. And then all of a sudden, in 4 years, the guy is standing on 18 at the Masters with his arms in the air. And I'm thinking, what an incredible rise to have a guy from Maine be mentioned in the same breath as the Roland Martins and the Jimmy Houstons and the Bill Dances of the world. You know, because his name's right up there with him. It is a small group that have won that tournament. That's a world championship of bass fishing, and that's not an easy thing to do.
But it wasn't easy on the final day, as he had to battle wind, rough swells, and frigid temperatures, along with tides that left boats like this one high and dry on sandbars. Haynes prevailed and came to the weigh-in with a total that would take this crop duster to the title, with over 45 pounds of bass.
Have you ever been any higher than this? I've been up about 15,000 in this. Well, the other day we were up 38,000 or whatever it was, and I'm just about a cloud above that right now, I guarantee you. Let's have a nice hand for Jack Haynes of Louisiana, the new champion, 1975 Bassmasters Classic.
And now, the state sports shrine awaits.
It's long overdue. We've been saying that for years. Louisiana is the sportsman's paradise. To get Jack in there, and we're going to be getting a few. We're going to be getting a few more in the next couple of years, and I think it's only fitting that we have outdoorsmen enshrined in there. And you know, a lot of people, especially when they go to Natchitoches, they're going to Toledo Bend 30 miles away. To have somebody like Jack enshrined in our Hall of Fame, I think is going to increase our attendance and give an interest that wasn't there before, you know, with the bass fishing.
Bassmasters started, and we read the articles about Bobby Murray and winning on a Zorro spinnerbait, and Toledo Bend was just in. I decided that I wanted to try to see what we could do, and my job as a crop duster at that time afforded me, because it was so seasonal, the ability to go to other lakes.
Jack Haynes' bass fishing legacy will forever be recognized as one of the few outdoorsmen inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame.
I look at a lot of the things that have fallen out in my life, and I realize that I wasn't as good as I thought I was, of course, But everything happened for a reason. I can see where God had worked in my life all the way down. And that was the thing that means the most to me.
But still to come, we learn that for the future of the Haynes family fishing prowess, the apple does not fall far from the tree.
Playtime of 4. 5 a fish limit. Brennan Leger and Caleb Clark. 5 good ones, I hear. Challenging for the lead, okay, which is 20 pounds and something. Whoa!
Hi, I'm Miss Louisiana Holly Conway on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I'm sure you know that clean, affordable propane gas is used in houses across our state. It's used in cooking, hot water heaters, drying clothes, and heating homes. But did you know that if you ever run out of propane, you need a certified dealer to inspect your system for leaks before it's refilled? That's the law. Propane is a safe and exceptional energy source, and we want to keep it that way.
You know, when I'm not fishing, I'm very involved with my partners here, you know, in Louisiana and throughout the nation. To become, you know, when they look at me, I want them to look at me as an ambassador. So I advertise. Marketing is such a big part of it. And social media, the same thing, as content is the key to a good partnership.
Hi, I'm Donnie Rouse. There are a lot of different reasons to shop at Rouse's.
It's the people. Everybody that works here is just so nice.
Our stores get deliveries 7 days a week.
They have such a wide variety at Rouse's. Everything's in stock. I mean, everything.
We use Rouse family recipes and ingredients found right here in the store.
It's the food. Rouse's food tastes like homemade. And they're local.
Like us.
We also have great prices.
That's the difference Rouse's makes.
Since Jack Haynes' 1975 triumph in the bass fishing world, many other Louisianians have followed the path to fish in what is considered the Super Bowl of bass fishing.
Growing up as a child, you know, I grew up in a fishing family. My dad, Roger, was well known here in South Louisiana as one of the most avid anglers here in South Louisiana. So I grew up in it. You know, it was always a part of my life growing up. And I guess my youngest vivid memory of I guess the first time in the back of my mind that I said, hey, this is what I want to do, was 1989, sitting on the couch with my dad watching the Bassmaster Classic and watching Hank Parker hold up that trophy. I was 9 years old at the time, so from that moment on I said, hey, you know, I can remember vividly picturing, hey, my dad could be there one day. You know, and of course, as I got older, it was, you know, I can be there.
Today, local bass anglers are leaving their mark in the professional fishing scene, thanks to the teaching of previous generations of tournament anglers.
So I'm 38 now. You know, a lot's happened between now and then. I actually went through a period in my life where for about 5 years I didn't even fish. You know, I went through a divorce in my life, and I met my wife Anya, you know, almost 6 years ago now, and one of the first things that she turned and told me was, you know, she saw the passion in my eyes. She saw it in my soul, and she's like, you're gonna live that dream again.
Ooh, look at that one, buddy. Go.
Derek will be the first to tell you that his dedication to go headfirst into professional bass fishing was not an easy one.
3 years of fishing completely full-time, all divisions of the Bassmaster Opens, all the way up to the Northerns, gave me not only the exposure, but it also gave me the experience. So when I did make this leap, I could have the business side, the financial part of it down, and I could also have some versatility in me with fishing these different bodies of water, because you have to have both the business end and the versatility in order to compete. You know, winning a Bassmaster Classic, well, even getting into a Bassmaster Classic and then winning it being even more important is absolutely life-changing. It's one of those events where it's almost more than just about money. You know, it's about, hey, I belong. I belong in that top-tier professionals in the world, and it's just simply a life-changing event.
11 pounds and 10 ounces. Unbelievable!
Oftentimes, for a fishing professional, landing a trophy fish and winning tournaments are just a small part of the lifestyle.
You know, you have to be really good at one of two things. You know, you have to be able to catch them a lot and win a lot, or you have to have a good business sense to it. You have to have a good business behind it, and a really good angler is going to have both. The marketing side of it is my business, DVH Fishing LLC. You know, I am an advertising company, and that's what I do. You know, I try to become an ambassador of my partner's business. You know, I try to become an ambassador, a partnership that really shows true value on both ends of it. You know, I try to get very involved. You know, when I'm not fishing, I'm very involved with my partners here, you know, in Louisiana and throughout the nation. To become, you know, when they look at me, I want them to look at me as an ambassador. So I advertise. Marketing is such a big part of it, and social media the same thing. As content is the key to a good partnership. One of the hardest things that we have to do as anglers is understand one thing is that we are our own worst enemy. You know, we are competing against some of the KVDs and the Iconellis and all of these guys that, you know, that are well known as some of the best professional anglers in the world. But, you know, in the first Bassmaster Classic, of course, I'll be in awe being around these guys, and it's just such a privilege to be able to fish beside them. But, you know, when that Yamaha's cranked and that national anthem is sung, you know, it's me against me. I'm going to be a victim of my own success and my own failures. This is just, you know, an overall dream. This is just probably step 4 and 5 in my dream. You know, I have a lot to look forward to. I'm here to stay, and I'm here to make a career out of it. And man, and my family, the support staff I have through social media. I'm involved in a lot of the youth fishing teams here in Louisiana. I have a lot of support staff coming into it, and that's absolutely pivotal to have the support, not just from a fan standpoint, but from a partnership. You know, I have some of the best partners that anybody can ask for, and you know, that are supporting me both financially and from a state of mind standpoint. People that are really rooting for me in the background, and you know, I couldn't be more blessed.
The future of growing bass fishing doesn't stop with current professional anglers. Coming up next, what has made high school bass fishing clubs one of the hottest new outdoor trends?
Just recently, we've had some of our kids that have gone and now are fishing on the Bassmaster Opens. We have some of our kids that are participating in the Adult Bass Nation tournament. So we can see how it's growing. We can see how it's going along and how these kids are developing. And now we're at the point where we have 35 universities in the U.S. that are offering fishing scholarships. So it's another way for kids to get their tuition paid while they get a good education.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
You've probably heard the saying, bring a kid fishing and they'll be hooked for a day. Teach a kid to fish and they'll be hooked for a lifetime. This statement holds true with lifelong anglers who are now teaching high school students to be the newest ambassadors of bass fishing.
About 6 years ago, BASS and FLW both started high school divisions in their organization. And right now, here we are 5 years later, and in both FLW and BASS, high schools is the fastest growing part of their organization. You know, it's growing more and more membership, and it's just exploded. It's giving these kids, you know, an outlet to become professional fishermen. You know, in every other sport, you know, you do junior high, high school, college, and then if you have a chance to go on pro level. Well, now we have the same thing in fishing.
I'm just so proud of the guys that have really pushed it and got it going, and there's so much participation in it. Not necessarily the athletic crew, but all of the participation. It can be from anybody. And so there are athletes involved in it, but there are non-athletes involved in it. So fishing is something that touches everyone.
Bass fishing pros in Louisiana credit the diversity of the state's waters to their success fishing in tournaments across the nation.
And it's because of our diverse fishery. You know, South Louisiana is not really the easiest place in the world to fish, and I think that's what's created so many really good anglers here in South Louisiana.
This success has also been displayed at the high school level. In 2015, 2 Denham Springs anglers were crowned national champs of their teenage peers. At the annual New Orleans Big Bass Rodeo, the high school competition has become one of the fastest growing divisions in recent years. And for those who follow the high school bass fishing circuit, state champ was none other than the grandson of Louisiana's 1975 Bassmasters title winner.
With a total weight of 20.67 pounds, from St. Thomas More High School, your 2018 Louisiana State High School champions, Brennan Leger and Caleb Clark.
He and his partner won the Louisiana State championship, high school championship this year, and moving on to the Nationals in Kentucky Lake later this month or next month.
Just recently, we've had some of our kids that have gone and now are fishing on the Bassmaster Open. We have some of our kids that are participating in the Adult Bass Nation Tournament. And now we're at the point where we have 35 universities in the U.S. that are offering fishing scholarships. So it's another way for kids to get their tuition paid while they get a good education.
Professional anglers know that they need to keep youth interested in order to grow the sport of bass fishing. Many believe the future of the sport can continue to flourish even at the high school level.
The industry of bass fishing is a very selfish industry. Being involved with the high school teams and some of the other youth fishing organizations, it gives me a chance to get into their minds and try to convince them to be ambassadors of not only the sport but the companies that they represent as well.
Well, the future, I think eventually, if this continues to grow, that the LHSAA, which governs our sports here in Louisiana, will have to look at maybe considering it as a high school sport. I know some people have advocated for that, and it could develop into that, and I think it'd be great. I do see it continuing to grow, and I think as long as we have some public water to fish, that it's gonna be a staple in the sports in Louisiana.
Discover the taste of Louisiana that's seasoned just right. Boiled to perfection. Enriched with tradition. A taste that's savory, crispy, and a little sweet. Discover the taste of Louisiana fish fry products.
Hi, I'm Donnie Rouse. There are a lot of different reasons to shop at Rouse's.
It's the people. Everybody that works here is just so nice.
Our stores get deliveries 7 days a week.
They have such a wide variety at Rouse's. Everything's in stock. I mean, everything.
We use Rouse family recipes and ingredients found right here in the store.
It's the food. Rouse's food tastes like homemade.
And they're local.
Like us.
We also have great prices.
That's the difference Rouse's makes.
Hello, my friends. This is Louisiana native Zachary Richard. I cherish the outdoor experiences that make our state so special. And for the first time in over 60 years, whooping cranes are back in Louisiana. Wildlife and fisheries need your help as these beautiful birds resettle in our state. If you spot a whooping crane, observe it from a distance, and if you witness anyone harming one of these very special birds, call the number on the screen.
This message is underwritten by Chevron.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
Thanks for watching another edition of Bayou Wild TV. Remember, you can get your merchandise at BayouWildTV.com. Just scroll down where you see the hats and shirts. Take them out on your outdoor adventures and check out all the episodes as well on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're on social media everywhere. You can't miss us.
And you can also come have lunch with us and talk a little bit of fishing and hunting here on Mondays at Morton's Restaurant on the Chifuncta River in Madisonville. See you then.